Hi and welcome back. So now I've rinsed out a little small mixing bowl and I'm going to be using some Roma tomatoes fresh off the vine. That way they don't lose their flavor and they don't go bad really quick. So I'm going to use 2 good sized Roma tomatoes and I'm going to rinse them really well because they do tend to accumulate like a filmy kind of dirt on them, which is gross. So I'm going to turn the water onto the Brita pitcher, so that way I'm using purified water to clean with. And you always want to use cold water, because if you use hot water, it'll make the skin shrink, which isn't any good either. Oh, and make sure you wash your cutting board in between. Even though it's really garlic and it can't really hurt it, it's always best, I think, to wash in between. So now we have 2 beautiful cut Roma tomatoes. Or not cut, but washed. And you just take the bottom and you barely slice into the bottom like so. I stand them up on ends because it's easier to work that way. And you do it with the other one. Now some people don't get rid of the end, but I do because I don't like it. And then of course the other end. And you just want to slice enough that you get it. So it looks like that. You see the little white, but it's not the actual core, which is always something that you want to try not to do, you feel me? So you just go lightly into it like so. It's over with. Now what I do is I take them and I put them like that, and I run the knife straight down like so. Then I turn them quarterwise and I run the knife down again, like so. So then you have 4 beautiful halves, such as. And then you just take your knife, and if you don't want seeds everywhere, I hold them by each end and I just lightly use a sawing motion to cut into the tomato, like so. Now sometimes they are gonna want to move. And if you don't want to mess everywhere, you can just kind of cut them out, put them to the side. It's real easy. And I like them, so I'm just going to add them back onto it and put them in my little bowl. So this is really easy, but it's time consuming, obviously. But it does make for a good salad. So you want to use a light touch when transferring them, because you don't want to get the juice and the seeds and everything everywhere. I smell the garlic cooking. It's smelling good. I checked on the chicken. It's looking pretty good. So, oh, my timer's going off. Good. Now because it's at 350, it's not really going to kill me to ignore it for a minute to finish this tomato. It might bother Brownie, but it won't be bothering me. So, just get these done with and get them into the little bowl. And I tend to cut each quarter into a 1/4. So you get about 16 slices of tomato, 16 pieces per tomato, which equals out to 2, so it's roughly 32 pieces, give or take, depending. And let me kill that and check it out. Garlic smells delicious. I'm going to give it probably another 2 or 3 minutes to cook. Because I want it to be done, but not too done. So I'm going to put these back in the fridge. Oh, the Parmesan cheese. Yummy. So while we're waiting on the garlic, so fresh, we're going to take our tomatoes. And hold on 1 second, because I have to rinse off this cutting board, because I don't like cross-contamination, even if it's tomatoes. I just don't really appreciate the sentimentality of the whole situation. And I always use Dawn liquid dish detergent, which you can get a whole gallon for $10 at Sam's Club, which is a pretty awesome deal if you think about it. And rinse it off for a second. And when you're using a cutting board, you really want to wipe it off with a paper towel, not like a cloth or anything, because that just breeds bacteria. So, just checking to see how the green beans are looking. I have my water boiling for my macaroni and cheese. So I'm just going to take a quick peek, maybe a stir. Smelling really good. Now when you go to smell your food, you never ever want to put your face right above it. You want to waft the smell to your face. Okie dokie. So now we have the tomatoes, and I actually think I can take the garlic out now. It should be done. Oh yeah, beautiful. We're just gonna set that down to cool off for a minute. But it smells wonderful for people who like roasted garlic. Some people don't like it, but to each is their own. That's how I feel. Now let it sit for about a minute, and then I'm gonna put it in with the tomatoes so it kind of softens them up a little bit. Water's looking good. Chicken's done. The chicken is ready. I'll be pulling that out in a minute. Okay. Now I'm going to add my garlic to my tomatoes. Putting this in the sink. Put a little bit of water into it. Then just kind of smush it. You don't really want to use a spoon or anything for it because it tends to break your tomatoes down. It smells awesome. And yeah, so we're gonna add, I'm gonna take a spoon for this one. Now I'm a big girl, so I like big things, like big spoons. And we're just gonna take a big spoonful, probably about a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons. And we're just going to go over it gently, like so, and then we're just going to toss again. Tossing to combine. You don't want to use your spoon because of the metal. And then because of the hot garlic, it's going to make its own sauce in about a minute or so. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the fridge till dinner time. And I'm almost reaching my 10-minute limit, so. So next will be the macaroni and cheese and then plating. See y'all in a little bit.